It's Monday morning, and I'm recording a couple videos today to schedule for the next few weeks. So that's why it looks like I'm tired, and you can probably see I sleep with an eye mask on, and so like you can see the mask marks on my face still. So I just woke up, but it's all good. We are covering the ads portion of phase 3 today, or I'm going to go over like the ad strategy, why ads, how ads. I thought this deserves its own video, so take this all for what it's worth. First question though, why ads? I'll scroll back a couple months, or maybe just a month. I finished the Alex Hormozi $100 million leads book, where it goes over the 4 ways to get leads. And in my case, it's the 4 ways to get users to your app. So you've got the 1-to-1 warm, 1-to-1 cold, which I don't feel like doing. And you've got the 1-to-many warm and 1-to-many cold, which is posting content and running ads. And I think those are what we're going to be doing. I am posting content here on YouTube, and we're going to start posting content on Instagram as well for the business. And then running ads is ultimately what, once we get investors, we're going to run ads. So why not start running ads now and learn that process and learn that platform, learn what converts well, yada, 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 so that when we get investors, I'm ready for it. So that's why. Why am I not doing the 2 1-to-1? So I think for social media apps and for apps in general, there's a critical factor where you get enough people that the traction hits. Because up until you get to a certain point, you don't have any traction, you don't really have anything, you're probably losing, like you can get a couple people and you'll lose a couple people. But there's this point along your growth where you might be getting and losing users, and it's slow and slow and slow. But there will be a point for pairs, and I'm calling this now because I just know this is going to happen. There's going to be a point where we have enough users and enough people have downloaded the app and have had a good experience that word of mouth will start to spread, and this just will go big, and it will grow exponentially quickly. That's my guess, and I'm making that call now. I don't know what that critical factor will be. I've talked to other entrepreneurs who have started apps, and my guess is going to be around 10,000 users. Like once we get 10,000 users, then at that point we probably will start growing faster. 100% that's just a guess, but if you think about that, if you think about I have to get 10,000 users for this thing to take off by its own, contacting 10,000 people 1-to-1, I may have 1,000 people in my personal contacts, and I think maybe 500 of them may be qualified leads for pairs, because you have to be in a relationship, you have to be in a couple. So 1-to-1 warm, that's just going to take a long time. That is going to, it doesn't make any sense to me to do that. 1-to-1 cold is just, cold calling, reaching out to anybody, cold emailing. You'd first have to buy a list of people to do that kind of stuff, and it still just feels like it would take too long to get to 10,000 people. To get to 10,000 people, that's just going to be crazy. Posting content, also very hard. I don't think we're going to get to 10,000 users on the app just from posting content alone. I do think the posting content helps, and Alex Hormozi says that as well. Like, it's not that people come from the content and then join acquisition.com. They will see a lot of pieces of content or find out through the book or whatever, and then the content helps like pre-qualify people to acquisition.com. So they've had some touch points along the way, and I think that will happen with pairs as well, especially if we're posting content on Instagram and we're running ads on Instagram. That's the ultimate goal. So if people can see that we're posting content, they'll see an ad, they might check out the page. They'll see an ad like the next week, and they might check out the page. And then after those few touch points, and they see that we're a legit page that posts content, then hopefully they download. So that's the strategy there. And the final comment on that, I've said a few times, if ads are the long-term strategy for acquisition, and it really is, I think the way that you get from 10,000 users to 1 million users on an app is 2 things. 1, word of mouth. People have to be spreading it, and that only comes through a good product. And then 2, you're running ads to try and get users. I think for service-based businesses and other things, cold reach-outs work. Like if you're in real estate, then cold calling people until you sell a house, that can work. Downloading an app, I cannot think of an app that would do that or that does that. That's just weird. Like cold calling, hey, can you download this app? I don't know. Again, Alex, if you're watching this video and I'm wrong about that, let me know why. But from where I'm sitting, this is what we're going with. Okay, so part 2. How much money are we going to spend? So I'm pulling rough numbers from my wife, actually, who's running ads for a local business that does carpet cleaning. So she has said, and she's told me that it was $3 to $5, and that's, I don't know how this works, but basically $3 to $5 could buy the company 1,000 views a day. So they would run a couple of test ads to see what performs the best, but generally they would budget $3 to $5 a day and target around 1,000 views. So I'm using those as my numbers, and those can be totally off from what we're going to get when we run ads, but had to start somewhere. So in my brain, okay, $5 a day. Let's say we did that for a month. Then you spent $150 and you've got about 30,000 views, which actually I think works because when we're running these on Instagram, we're going to be targeting and retargeting people who are around my age, so mid-20s, people who are in universities in Utah. Utah's got maybe 10 universities, but we're really targeting the top 3. So up in Salt Lake, there is the University of Utah, and they have about 40,000 students. And then in Orem, there's another university, and it's called UVU, Utah Valley University. They have about 30 to 40,000 students. And then in Provo, there is Brigham Young University, and that has about 30,000 students. So those 3 combined is 90,000 people. You know, in that 90,000, there's a portion of them who are married. There's a portion of them who are in a relationship, like a stable dating relationship. And those people are who are qualified for pairs. The rest of them are single. It might be half of the 90,000. It might be a third of them. I don't know. But that's who we're going to be targeting on Instagram when we do this. And so back to the numbers, that's why I think the numbers work out. So if we spend if we spend $5 a day for a whole month, that's $150 for 30,000 views. That's basically you've got everybody on one campus to see your ad. That's the way that I'm thinking about it. And if we did that strategy for, let's say, 3, 6, 9 months, then people will have a few touch points. We'll get a few downloads in the first month, maybe a couple more downloads in the next month. Maybe by the 3rd month, we're running ads, and this is me like daydreaming about how well this is going to go, having not run ads. But in my head, it's got to pick up at some point, and there is a number where you spend, it might be you get 10,000 views and you get 1 download, or you get 20,000 views, you get 1 download, but there is a number. And then at some point, it's just getting more views. And so I think I did the math. What was the math on this? I think I asked ChatGPT how many students are in the top 10 universities, because there's 90,000 students in like the top 3. But there's other universities, so if you go down that whole list, I think it was 280,000 roughly students across all those 10 universities. And so that really is our target market. We're really going to target the top 3 because word of mouth will spread on those universities faster, but we're going to include everybody. And I'm not super sure how running ads works. I still have to learn that, so I don't know if you could, I don't know how niche you could target. Like, can I target one university? Do I target an age range and a location? I don't know. So we'll figure that out. But that's what we're going to be targeting. Unless my margins are really bad, unless my ads don't convert and it's like 50,000 views, 1 download, I'll be running ads for a long time. But say love you. That's what we're doing. Quick side note on where this money is coming from, where the 150 is coming from. I switched from a consulting position in my company that's currently employing me to a sales position. And so the sales position that brings the business in does have a bonus structure. And that's the goal, is, switch over to the sales position, then use the money that I get from bonuses to run ads. That's just going to be like side money coming in. I think they pay out every quarter or something. So every quarter there'll be a paycheck, and hopefully that's enough to get me through the next quarter. We'll see how it goes. But that's where the money's coming from. I really did switch positions to do this. I also switched positions because I figured out I didn't like consulting so much, but the reason I switched into sales and not into a different part of the company was because sales would allow me bonuses, and bonuses can be used on pairs, and pairs is just going to be this hole that I dump money into, or that I dump my bonuses into for the next couple months. So then the last point of this video for ads was, how long are we going to run ads? Like I said, 3, 6, 9 months, I don't know. I can only see 3 steps ahead. The third step is running ads, so I'll get to step 3, and until I figure out what to do next, it'll just be running ads, making YouTube videos, running ads, and just doing that whole thing. I assume somewhere along the process, if I get close to, we're rebuilding the app, or once we start running ads after the first month or so, I assume the next step will pop into my head. And so we might run ads for 3 months or 6 months before I figure out what the next thing is. But right now in my head, I'm going to plan on 6 months. I really want to do this for 6 months because I feel like that's a good chunk of time to see, maybe to test a few different ads and see what converts the best, and then to buckle down, spend some money on that, and then, to get downloads to the app. If after 6 to 9 months it looks like ads are not working at all, then probably I take that back. It's in Alex Hormozi's book. Ads always work. It's just a matter of, are you spending enough, and is your ad converting? So if our ads do 0, like if they do nothing after 3 months, then we're going to take a look at the ad itself, and if we need to change it a little bit, and then just give time. Another Alex Hormozi quote there. But yeah, that's the breakdown of ads, of why we're doing it, what we're doing, how long we're doing it for, all that kind of stuff. That's it for today. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.